All right, here we are playing Sugar Hollow in Bristol, Virginia. 4.7 stars. Beautiful course. Going to be playing the longs today, just over 6,500 feet. But before we get started, we have a dynamic disc giveaway. My wife picked this out while we were on vacation in Wilmington, a disc golf store out there. So that can be yours. All you got to do is comment. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. All right, so hole number one. Pretty wide open hole right here, 309. Quite a few options. Fairly easy to get out of this gap. Not a lot of trouble. OB to the left with the street, but other than that, just a really good starting hole in my opinion. So starting off about a 20-footer, 25-footer for birdie, so happy with that. Here we go, hole two, another one. Fairly wide open, just got to get as much distance as you possibly can off this drive. Then just got to have a pretty good line to the basket. So throwing my mayhem here, something that'll turn over and then fade back. Had a decent drive with it, so I was happy. Gonna be throwing the envy next, taking the outside, just kind of that envy that I like to use. Will go straight for a long time with a very slight finish at the end. So tapping in birdie, very happy with that one as well. 663, so just a lot of good opening holes. Just get warmed up, throw a lot of bombs. This one's going to be going downhill, make you feel good. I would have loved to seen this course when that tree was there. I'm sure that was a huge difference maker, but now that it's down, not a lot of challenges on this one either, except those branches on those first couple trees right there I could see being an issue. So throwing the pyro to lay up, and then from here just tapping in another birdie. So 3 for 3. I'm very happy with that start. 306. Now the cool things about these signs is it'll tell you, whether you're doing like pro, AMs, or ladies tees, giving you the different par options. So really unique thing that they do there. Throwing the hex, ended up catching those branches, killed the shot just a little bit. Throwing the envy from here, just landing a little early, fading out, but able to save that par. So 480, par 4. I could see this one definitely being probably an eagleable hole if you can make it through that gap and pure it and have a good skip down this hill. But just something that'll flip up and be glidey. So teleport is what I'm throwing here. It flipped up pretty well, and then ended up catching this last tree as it was starting to fade. So almost made it out the gap. I was happy with that. And then just pretty much a easy layup from there. But hole number 6, 295. So if you guys have ever played this course, leave a comment if you have ever rolled down this hill. I am sure this happens a lot, and it almost happened to me. I wish we could zoom in. Whenever I'm playing with someone on these recording days, we'll typically zoom in. But if I'm filming by myself, we're not able to get it. But I hit the side of the mountain, almost rolled back all the way down, but I was glad that it stayed right there. So here we go, starting to get into the trees a little bit. There's quite a few holes that are in these trees. Just you'll see them here shortly, but tight little gap that you got to get out of. And then going all the way across the field, then up the hill. So ended up just shy of this hill, banging off the band, and then just tapping in for par. So 398, this one's going to be just another fun shot to throw. I mean, there are a ton of wide open shots here, and then it gets really tight. So it's a great mixture. But throwing the octane just on hyzer here, and I was very happy with where we landed, just behind the tee. So 223. These right here are probably my favorite, just scenic looking holes. Anytime there's a line of trees, I absolutely love when someone designs a course like this. Throwing the envy, just ended up fading a little too early. Didn't commit to the line. I didn't want to turn it over too hard, end up hitting a tree or something, but tap it in for a par. So here we go, hole number 10. another row just all the way down, a little bit further this time. And this was probably the shot of the day for me. I thought I was going to smack into one of these trees. The Envy flipped up a little bit more, had a few good skips, got all the way almost to, I would say, edge of circle there, just inside of it. So super happy with that birdie. But hole number 11, this one, another thing I would love to see how locals play this one. I'm sure there's quite a few different lines and different ways that you can throw this one. I was just kind of throwing a little tomahawk there just to get through. But, you know, it looks like you had a few highs there. So if you're a local, definitely would love to hear your comments on that one. So hole 12, very unique hole right here as well. Got to make sure that you get a lot of distance, and you're going to be coming into just a grouping of trees. So you got to almost just a poke and pray towards the end just because of how many trees there are. So able to get the par there. Hole 13. This was another one, in my opinion, just absolutely beautifully designed. And this was probably the worst shot of the day. Ended up yanking it. Luckily, I got through a miracle gap here. End up on just almost OB. Throwing a simple hyzer there. Going to be tapping it in. But yeah, this one, probably one of the prettier holes, in my opinion. So hole 14. 493 going uphill. This was another bomber one, and like I said, they did such a good job with where you have to throw for distance and then you got to throw technical shots. Overall, so far, definitely a very well designed course. So I was able to play the skip off of the road and gave me quite a bit more distance, and was able to hit that gap. So hole 15, 493, now we're going back downhill, just on the opposite side of the road. From here, going to be throwing, I believe, the teleport, end up just turning it over just a little bit into those trees. So taking a knee, throwing the pyro out, end up overshooting the basket. And this is one of those putts where I walked up and I was like, this is a bogey. I know, hands down it is. I'm sure we've all felt that before, and was just able to sink it to save par. So happy with that one. Hole 16, 244. I do apologize. I did not get the tee shot on here. I was throwing a sidearm. You could throw turnover here. I mean, whatever you're most comfortable with. But ended up just catching those late branches. Hole 17, this is going to be an ace run hole. Another one just kind of lined up in the trees, protected. Throwing the Envy. You could probably almost just jump putt this hole. I'm sure a lot of players do. Wanted to slow-mo. Trying something new right here. Cashing in for birdie on 17. So hole 18, 352. Par 3. So when I actually threw my drive, because I didn't know exactly where the basket is. This is the first time I was playing it. But there were chains in the background, and I thought I aced this hole. You may have heard them right there. I actually walked up to the camera and said that might have been an ace. And then when I was time-lapsed, I saw where the basket was. But super thankful for a 9-over. Had some good shots in the woods. But honestly, this course, Sugar Hollow, just outside of, Bristol is in between Tennessee and Virginia, but just outside of Bristol, a little bit deeper into Virginia. Totally worth the trip. Highly recommend it. Great course. Hope you guys enjoy it.